What separates a legend from a leader? What makes one man retire at the top and another keep building until his last breath? It's not talent, not timing, not even intelligence. It's obsession. The relentless, almost irrational refusal to settle. Steve Jobs didn't live for comfort. He lived for clarity, for creation, for the craft. His story is not about easy success. It's about burning through failure again and again until the vision became real. He didn't take shortcuts. He didn't follow formulas. He followed fire. This is the warrior spirit of Steve Jobs. This is obsession over comfort. Quote 1. I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. Jobs didn't say skills. He didn't say connections. He said perseverance. Because talent gets you started. Obsession keeps you going. The difference between winning and quitting? How long you're willing to suffer for the mission. He once said, I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. That means you don't have to be the smartest, just the one who refuses to stop. Classic example. Thomas Edison. He tried over 10,000 times to invent the light bulb. Each failure taught him one more way that didn't work. He didn't see failure as a stop sign. He saw it as feedback. Just like Jobs, who saw multiple product flops, executive pushback, and public embarrassment. Yet he returned and transformed Apple from near bankruptcy to the most valuable company in the world. Modern example. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Cut from football, broke, depressed, he didn't quit. He trained harder, reinvented himself, built an empire. Now actor, producer, brand mogul, not because it was easy, but because he never stopped. Here are 5 ways to weaponize perseverance. Expect pain. Struggle isn't a glitch, it's a feature of the path. Build discipline rituals, obsession needs structure. Win the day before sunrise, track your scars. Every setback is part of your training. Don't erase the memory, use it. Visualize the end, not the obstacles. Keep your eyes locked on legacy. Let the dream be louder than the doubt. Never negotiate with your mission. Comfort is a lie. Obsession is truth. This quote isn't about business. It's about the soul. If you want to become a legend, you must be willing to outlast the storms. Quote 2. I'm as proud of what we don't do as I am of what we do. This quote reveals a different side of obsession. Focus. Jobs believed in subtraction, in saying no to 1,000 good ideas so you could say yes to the one great one. He understood that energy is finite, and that brilliance is born from brutal clarity. Apple didn't flood the market with dozens of devices, they built a few. But every detail, every curve, every icon, every sound was designed with obsessive precision. Jobs would hold up a prototype and ask, is this worthy of the Apple name? If the answer wasn't absolutely, it didn't ship. Classic example, Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest samurai in Japanese history. He carried 2 swords. But more importantly, he practiced minimalism in thought. He believed in clarity over chaos and became undefeated in over 60 duels. Musashi wrote the Book of 5 Rings, a guide not to war but to focused mastery. Modern example, Marie Kondo. She doesn't organize clutter, she eliminates it. Her method? Keep only what sparks joy, same principle, different battlefield. Steve Jobs knew, creativity isn't just about adding, it's about knowing what to remove. He often said, I'm as proud of the things we haven't done as I am of the things we have. 5 lessons in ruthless focus. Guard your time like a warrior. Say no often, fiercely. Defend your energy. Build a not-to-do list. Success is often about what you eliminate. Make room for the essential. Cut shallow projects. Go deep, not wide. Greatness doesn't multitask. Master one thing. Be legendary in a lane that is yours. Let the rest go. Remove the noise. Complexity kills clarity, simplicity scales. Obsession requires sacrifice, not just of time, but of options. Freedom isn't doing everything. It's doing what matters most, to the brink of mastery. It's better to be known for one powerful thing than remembered for 1,000 average ones. Quote 3. If today were the last day of your life, would you want to do what you're about to do today? This is the ultimate warrior question. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Jobs asked himself this every morning, and if the answer was no too many days in a row, he knew it was time to change. This is the mindset of someone who doesn't waste time on mediocrity, who doesn't trade hours for approval. He built his life as though death was watching, because it was. Classic example, Seneca the Stoic. He wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Warriors reflect on death to sharpen life. Seneca advised practicing death daily, not to become morbid, but to become urgent. Modern example, Steve-O from Jackass. Yes, he started in chaos, but sobriety woke him up. Now he lives intentionally, fully. He faced death multiple times and came back obsessed with living on his terms. He found meaning not in more stunts, but in service, helping others, telling truth, living clean. 5 ways to apply this warrior lens daily. Ask the death question every morning. Let mortality be your motivator. Life is short, don't waste it. Audit your calendar. Is it filled with obligation or obsession? If it's not essential, eliminate it. Eliminate people-pleasing. Live your life, not their version of it. You don't owe anyone your silence. Create before you consume. Make your legacy before scrolling their highlights. Produce more than you react. Say yes only to what ignites you. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Your soul knows. Listen, the clock is ticking. Not to pressure you, but to liberate you. Every second you spend aligned with purpose is a victory. And every day wasted is a silent defeat. Live like your days are numbered, because they are. You were not born to drift. You were born to drive. Closing reflection. Obsession is the path. Steve Jobs didn't seek balance, he sought brilliance. He wasn't moderate, he was maniacal, about the details, about the design, about the why. That's what made him dangerous, that's what made him immortal. If you want to rise above, you must descend into focus. If you want to be remembered, you must be obsessed, not with success, not with status, but with the work, the sacred process, the fire that makes your soul feel alive. This isn't for everyone, but maybe it's for you. So ask yourself, what are you willing to suffer for? What will you refuse to compromise on? What would you do even if no one clapped? That's the path. That's the warrior way. The world doesn't need more comfortable men. It needs obsessed ones. Obsessed with mastery, obsessed with impact, obsessed with legacy like Steve Jobs. Final call to action. If this lit a fire in you, share it, comment, subscribe, tag someone who's stuck playing it safe. Let this be their wake-up call. This is Conrad Warriors, where obsession isn't a flaw, it's a virtue. Stay focused, stay relentless, stay dangerous,